Hi Scorpio, welcome to Higher Source Tarot for your Is It in the Cards love reading for June 2020. This is for all Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. And I just want to thank all of you who've been supporting my channel by watching the readings and subscribing, liking, commenting, sharing the videos. I so appreciate that. We're in such a divisive time right now that it's just great to come together in love and be one with that highest vibration, and that is of love. So thank you for that. And if you're new here, I'd love to have you as a subscriber. If you tap the bell, you'll be notified when new videos are posted. But I basically post every week, okay? So you don't have to, if you don't want the notifications. I post, this one will be on the first Friday of the month, and then I do weekly readings too. So those are out and about. And then I try to post them a couple days before the week begins. I also do monthly and mid-month checks. So here we go. This is for Scorpio. What is the guidance for Scorpio for love in June? What is the guidance? What should Scorpio know for love in June? Here we go. So if this doesn't resonate, you can always check your Venus or Moon, especially in a love reading. But you never know. This could be speaking directly to you. So we'll begin, and you'll get 3 cards for you, 3 cards for the other person, and 3 cards for the guidance. You have the Knight of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles, and the Queen of Wands. Very strong. They are represented by the Knight of Cups, the 9 of Cups, and the Hierophant. And the guidance here is the World, Judgment, and the Emperor. Wow, a lot of major arcana in this one. Wow, okay, so you have Aries, you've got Taurus here. You certainly have water, Aries, or no, Jesus. Sorry, I'm taking in the message more than the cards, I apologize. You have Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, and you do have Earth, but I guess I've stuck on Aries because you've got the Queen of Wands with the Emperor here, and that just really solidified some Aries energy there. Might not be an Aries, but certainly could be. You have here, you definitely you want stability. You know, that's something that for some of you, you've not had before. Loyalty is paramount and stability. There is a real focus on that right now. And some of you may have been burned where you had somebody from the past who took money from you. And they even were taking your ATM card to your debit card to the ATM and withdrawing. Somebody definitely had something like that, or they were taking money even out of your wallet, just literally stealing from you. And there's a real focus on that, wanting to find somebody stable, somebody who's abundant, somebody who has their own money, who is, takes care of their surroundings. If they have a house, that you don't walk around the perimeter and there's empty pails and garbage and crap laying around the house. They take care of stuff. They take care of their own appearance very well. You definitely have that focus of wanting to bring someone in who is regal. That's what I'm getting. They're beautiful energy. You're bringing that towards you. Do I think there's love here? Yes. So I will tell you that. But some of you, I do feel like you've got the closing of some kind of a cycle here. You may have had this other person hanging on for a while, and they really need to be done because they're bringing in an energy that just brings almost rage. It feels like an enraged kind of feeling, even trying to deal with them. So if you have somebody that they've been kind of like the stage 5 clinger, they may need to be pushed out the door because they're just not a good energy. But I feel like you're really getting right with yourself. You're looking good, feeling good, and ready. You're ready for love, for sure. We're going to use these Carolyn Mace archetype cards. If you're not familiar with her work, she's a PhD theologist, but she was a medical intuitive for many years, and she's a spiritual teacher. So you've got the Child Wounded card. You have the Child Wounded card. Light attributes are awakens compassion and desires to serve other wounded children, opens the learning path for forgiveness. The shadow attributes are blames all dysfunctional relationships on childhood wounds, resists moving on through forgiveness. So for some of you, you have to be careful of that, not to not to associate every relationship that doesn't last and isn't happily ever after with something from the childhood experience or the family of origin experience, because we really want to have the power over our own lives and not give our power away like that to somebody from the past. I mean, especially if we've had a difficult childhood, and I know I did. Those were my best teachers. They were absolutely my guides in what kind of a parent I wanted to be, what kind of even down to employee. I mean, I grew up around people who were unemployed, who, my mother passed away when I was young, and they were living off of our Social Security benefits for our mother. I mean, it was really crazy, and then not giving us things that we needed as kids. So I look at that, and I would never do that. I mean, that wouldn't even cross my mind to do it. But I mean, I'm now in my life as an adult, I'm the kind of person that, donates money and time and things like that to, to my kids' school system and things in my community, because I learned. That was my teaching. I learned. I didn't like that, and I didn't want it, so I turned away from it and created a different reality. So anyway, this other person, they're very warm. This person is, they're a bit of a daydreamer. I do feel like they're interested in the relationship. Some of them, you may already know this person. Some of them, or for some of you, they're watching you. They're very smitten is the word that I get. They're very, very smitten, and they're doing things like looking through your social media, and any picture you take, they think is beautiful. They're very attracted to you. They like and like I said, you're looking good too, and they see that. They notice that. They're somebody who will give you gifts. They want to do that. They're very generous financially. They're also too, I mean, they've had their heartaches as well, and they're looking for a soulmate. They're looking for a real love connection. Something serious, though. I do think they've been a bit of a partier in the past, and they may have been, I got the term F-boy. I'm sorry, I don't really want that in the reading, but it came into my head. And I'm not saying that they just slept around. I mean, I guess I am, but I do feel like they've had a lot of relationships, and but I also feel like they're done with that. They don't want to be juggling multiple people. They're ready to get serious. They've got a change here with the Hierophant, and the change is about becoming really. Overall, it's really for them. It's about becoming a better person, a better version of themselves, more committed version. And I think in the past too, there was somebody who would get kind of obsessive with things, like they'd start a new exercise or fitness program, and all of a sudden they're going to CrossFit twice a day, and then going over to Planet Fitness in between, and doing things just to the extreme. And it was more out of, I think, immaturity there, but I do think they've grown up and recognized too that intensity level is not sustainable. I feel like there's an intensity about them still, but they recognize that when they get almost obsessive like that, it's not sustainable. And so they're seeing that and learning from that. So their archetype here, let's pull one of these. They have God. Interesting. The light attributes are benevolence and compassion, recognizing the eternal force within yourself and others. We're eternal beings. I like that. The shadow attributes on this are despotism and cruelty, using power to control people. So it's sometimes too with that intensity. Like I said, CrossFit came to mind, and I don't know if you've ever known anyone who's really been into that, but there's like an intensity, and I almost feel like the competitive edge of them in the past, I think they've been competitive, but it's been in a kind of a mean-spirited way, and I do think they've moved past that though. So what you have here, very interesting triad here with the World, Judgment, and the Emperor. It's definitely about closing out a cycle. So for some of you, you've had this cycle of being burned by people, and it's time for somebody new. But the only thing about that is they do have some tendencies. They've got some past history that you're going to be weary of. And I think you're going to kind of keep them on the ropes, quite frankly. I don't think you're going to fully embrace them right away. But I definitely think with Judgment, you're going to keep them waiting, and you're going to be watching and measuring their actions. Kind of show me, don't tell me. I think you're going to be very. I do think they're a good person, and I think that they want to be in something more serious now. But I think that you've built up enough around you that you're not going to just take anybody at face value. I think you're looking for depth, and it will be up to them to deliver it. But there's definitely, and it's even these small things, like with the Emperor, he rules like social norms. It's even looking at stuff like that, like do they text you at 1 a.m. when they're getting home from the bar and things like that. You will not be interested in that. I can tell you that right now. Or even if you go to bed early and they're sending you texts at like 11 o'clock at night, you're going to want respect for your schedule, respect for your time, and you're not going to settle for anything else. They're going to have to level up because like I said, I think they've been a bit immature in the past, but I do feel like they're growing. This person is growing. They're definitely coming in though. So we'll conclude with these Whispers of Love Oracle cards. These are Oracle cards to attract more love in your life. Forgiveness. Nothing is gained by holding on to past disappointments. Well, because we drag that with us. We drag that vibration forward with us when we're hanging on to it. So we end up attracting more of it. And that's exactly, if you know somebody, if it's you or somebody that you know, and they're saying like, why do I always attract these low lives? Because they're still attached to that vibrational frequency, so it must show up. You are definitely worth it to get somebody who is at your level. This is good. Their card is have patience. Love is patient and kind always. And like I said, I think they're going to have to work a little bit for you, Scorpio, and they're going to have some patience with that. And I do think they're going to run the distance, but I think it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be measured. So I love you so much, Scorpio, and I'll be back again soon.